Hi everyone. Excuse me. Scrappy Kathy here with another Scrap Backwards project, and I'm using a very precious hoarded piece of basic gray paper, and I'm gonna put it out here and kind of leave it as long as I can so you can see how gorgeous it is and how much I love it. It's got this kind of pale green with little dots all over it, and then there's distressed darker parts around the edges, and then this blue painty stuff that kind of comes in every now and then, and some scratches across here and some scratches going up that way. Absolutely unbelievably gorgeous, and I'm fixing to cover it all up, so we'll see. What Adam and I are doing this week this is technically the last week with our December sheets, although I think I may try to squeeze a couple more out. I have a couple projects, and I will have some Christmas photos to go with it. And but anyway. And this week, we are both scrap lifting the amazing Sally Ann Floyd, who is a member of the Dottie About Flair design team, and just one of the, and just an amazing scrapper who has brilliant ideas and kind of an understated style that just allows her photos to shine. And this series of photos is just absolutely adorable. So I'm going to have photos of food, or at least relating to food. So this year we're taking or as you watch this, we will be on a trip to Orlando, possibly, as I speak to you now, possibly a bit ill-advised in that, there's all this new resurgence of COVID, but we're going to mask up and keep our distance from everybody else outside the family. And we're all boosted, so we should be good. Anyway, let's get started with the layout. This one should go quickly because I've done some pre-work. What Sally's got in hers are these circles of different sizes, and she's added in some flair and some outline hearts. And other than that, there's no decoration. And I've got some circles cut out of scraps from my kit. I've pulled some flair that kind of color match some of those. Don't know if I'll use all of them. I have 3 little square photos. This of the squirrel, that kind of bronze statue as you walk into the restaurant. This is the inside of the restaurant with all the plants and bottles of wine. It is a wine bar. And this is the turkey and dressing and salad, meal. We had a Christmas Eve meal there. Same place we went for Thanksgiving. It's a nice place. And I've got these rub-ons that I thought I could use kind of throughout. I love the snowflakes, and although there was no snow, it's just kind of a sign of the season, if you will. It's like a seasonal image, and I believe in snow like I believe in Santa Claus, so if that makes any sense. So I've got this season's greetings, naughty or nice, could work for my title. I think I'll leave off the naughty or nice. And I'm going to try to use as many of those snowflakes as I can. and maybe these and maybe the trees. We'll see what we get to once we get everything down on the page. So let's start that. I'm going to put the page right here in the center where I think you can see it. I will leave the example. Let's see, would you see it? Would you see it better if I put it here? And then here's my tray of goodies that I can put here. I've also got I've been holding off buying new foam sheets even though I'm out of them. And I'm going and kind of piecing together these foam scraps, kind of like I've done back here. I hate to waste this, and I do not want to put it in a landfill, so I'm going to force myself to use it. And I have some sheet of adhesive that's, I don't know, 6 inches wide. It's not sheets, it's rolls. I think I do have some sheets somewhere, but I thought maybe I could piece some of this on those adhesive rolls and make sheets of it that I could cut into photo sizes, like 4x6, to put behind 4x6 photos, for example. So I've anything to get these on pages and not in the trash. It's kind of my idea. So I'm gonna put the photos on kind of at wonky angles, starting there and then here. Sally's are vertical. They're and so they touch one another. I'm not going to have that kind of space if I want them to kind of spread out on the page. So let's see, how do I want to turn the plate of food? I don't suppose it really matters, but maybe I'll do it like this. Do I want to do it that way? We'll do it this way at just a slightly different angle. Actually, let me move that up a bit, and this up a bit, and this can kind of go there, especially since the plate was round and I have no idea what was top or bottom. Okay, so now I'm just going to start pulling things that kind of go together. I'm going to start adding circles, and some of them will have foam on the back of them. That has foam on the back, but it doesn't have adhesive. Okay, so there. And then I've got a circle cut from the reverse side of that paper. And I'm just going to kind of overlap it here. And this flare, it has that kind of same maroon or wine colored tone, so I'm going to go ahead and include it kind of up in that I'll just let it be a circle out here. And now what I'm realizing I should have done was some of these rub-ons before I start putting the dimensional items in. So I'm going to take this. This is going to kind of be tone on tone. And I got my popsicle stick. I'm going to do it in one of the lighter areas, like right there, and kind of have it peeking out from under the photos. And then I may or may not put a circle or a flare on top of it or adjacent to it or overlapping it or near it or around it or above it or below it. But for right now, I just kind of want to see, I'm testing my concept of sprinkling the page with these rub-ons. Okay, there. Okay, and the rub-ons are from the St. Nick Fancy Pants collection. I've used a lot of those. I still have lots left. I loved that collection. I'm going to put the title right across there. And I'll go ahead and do that now so I'll know I can't put any circles there. And now that I've had some success with that one, I did the easy one first because it was similar color, and if it messed up, it would just look like part of the grunge on the paper. It would look like somebody else did it, not me. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. And I'm going to try, let me hold this or stand up or somehow make sure that it's straight. I think that's good. So I'll put this back up here. I love the font on this and the color. It's kind of a grayish brown that just looks perfect with reds and greens and this kind of blue painty stuff here. So it's, even though it's not basic gray, it's almost as though it had been designed to go with basic gray, or as if, you know, basic gray had lost an employee to Fancy Pants. I don't know. Okay, there we go. That worked out nicely. And before I go any further, I want to do this little, well, actually, I'm going to do the maroon and the blue little snowflake kind of over here in proximity to the maroon circle. So I'm going to do it kind of like that at an angle, and then we'll get them both on there. And hopefully those will come out as nicely as the others have done. I think I may be missing a point there. My son is always telling me I'm missing the point. I don't think he means rub-ons. Okay. Should I save the naughty or nice or put it right here? I'm going to save it, but I need to save, well, I'll figure out a way to save it. I'm just going to put it over here on the lamp. Okay, so now let's do another another of my paper circles. I like that one there, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it flat. That's a basic gray paper as well. And I have this little circle that I cut. I'm going to put that on foam. There we go. Here's where I could probably use a dot, but I'm really committed to using these things. Maybe I'll put that up there. And there's this basket weave flare that I thought looked good there, so I may put it down. I don't want it straight across from there, so maybe I'm going to put that more kind of right, maybe even overlapping the photo, and then I'll maybe squeeze that right in there. And I'm going to do it at the same angle that I have those guys, the lines in the paper. Well, that's going to be easier said than done. Okay, there. And now I'm going to go down into this area. I haven't put any hearts out there. I like that this has the same kind of painty stuff. This must be from the same collection. This is from Dasher, I think. I have the strip somewhere. Yes, it is from Dasher, and this paper is called Snowfall Pear, and this was only available in a scrap, so I have no idea what it is. I actually, because that kind of appears like stripes, I'm going to put this striped one maybe here and have it maybe overlap that. And I've got this flare, which has lots of the same colors, and all of the flares are December release, but I've pulled them for the layout, and I don't have the sets. But if you look at the December release, if there's anything you like on here, check out the December release, or just ask me and I can go look it up. I just haven't done it yet. And I cut this heart out of the blue, this blue paper right here, but I think I'm going to use it down here. You can see the stripe on the other side. Okay, that's not, my glue is not behaving there. And I hate doing this. Okay, let's see. This is a very thin outline heart, and I think I got the die from Rosie's Studio. Okay, I'm going to rub that away. Okay, now I've got this one I really want to use, the Sleepy Sloths, but okay, yeah, it kind of goes with that paper. That's kind of cute. So let's use that right here. And I'll kind of have it bridge the two photos. And again, I'm going to put that. This is a crepe paper design from a couple years ago. And I loved the blue ice cube look there. And it came available in a pack of 25 sheets at Tuesday morning. So I bought it. Then I don't want to cover up that kind of white streak that's in there. So I'm just going to do that. And I've got another flare that could kind of stand on its own out here. Has little stars. And then I'm going to go down here and use this pink kind of sticking out this way. And I am going to put that on foam because I want it to raise up that corner of the photo. Gonna maybe put it over this way because it looks really nice with this flare that has the pink background and the Christmas greenery and florals. And I've got this rainbow where the pink on the rainbow is the exact kind of pink that we have right there. And so I'm gonna put that here. And other than the rub-ons, I haven't got anything out here to use for this. I actually cut a circle out of this purple paper, and I have a purple heart there. I think I'm not going to use that. I'll save that for another project. And I might just do, instead of sprinkling the hearts around, I may just do it kind of overlapping like this. And I like that. And this, the colors in this cluster and this cluster are kind of compatible. So that it's going to look nice. Okay, and the purple dot stays there, or the purple flare. Okay, so now I've got some more rub-ons, and then we'll go look at the sticker sheets and see if there's anything that might fit into this little scenario that I've created here. I could have put some of the rub-ons on the circles, but I kind of like the patterns on the circle paper the way they are. I'm going to put this one here, just kind of bridging that little gap. And I will do some journaling about the Christmas Eve dinner. Ava wasn't available due to the sharing and custody arrangement. And James didn't want me to have to cook because we're all kind of getting ready for the trip. Oops, I lost some points. Let me get that back over there. Easy to fix if you get it in the right place. If you get it back where it was supposed to be. And I'm just going to kind of scratch it with my tweezers, which is, you know, probably not in Rub-On 101, but it did the trick. It was what I had in my hand. Okay, let's look at, I've got this other kind of grayish one, and I've got a yellow one. The yellow one may not show up very well, but I'm going to try it anyway. Maybe here. It kind of looks like shadowing on the on that similarly colored background. And so I'm not going to really worry a whole lot about that. It's just going to look like a subtle part of the print. As if it doesn't transfer perfectly, but it did transfer perfectly. See how cute that is? That worked out great. And I have another, this larger gray one that I thought maybe I would put up in here by the title, that is also gray, and it kind of balances that one. I'm just going to leave it on there. It had already begun to stick a little bit, and I don't want to mess with that, even though it may not be quite as straight as one would like it, but I'm not known for lining things up straight. I don't know how many of you follow JQ Crafty, whose tagline on YouTube or whose YouTube name is, "If it's not crooked, I didn't do it." So that's kind of me. I think she and I are twins. Okay, let's see. I have another. I'm really determined to use as much as I can from this rub-on sheet, which has kind of become one of my main sources. I guess I could put that right there, couldn't I? That would be cute. Let me put it here, so then this makes a visual triangle, and that makes it pleasing to the eye. I don't consider that to be a rule, but when I notice it with my own eyes, I figure it's worth, I figure they knew what they were talking about, and it's worth following. It's worth doing. Let's see. I've got this really big one, and I've got those two large ones. So maybe if I did the big one, well, there's already the yellow in there. If I did the big one right here, that might balance those three and give us another visual triangle. Let's see. Oops. Okay, come on. And I could kind of sneak it down under there. Ooh, I love that. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And it just, it's kind of adding that flourish. And when you've got that and all of the repeated shapes of, you know, circular shapes, you really don't need a lot of other embellishment. I noticed that in Sally's, she used not only the outline hearts, but in a couple places, some little banners, you know, little banner shapes. and those are really cute. I'll have to see if I have any or if I can make any from the stuff I have left on my sticker sheets. Okay, that's sticking to the okay, hopefully that doesn't show the part that didn't come off, the part that's still on here. Hopefully it doesn't show on the page. And I don't think it does. Let's see, I've got one more little, but it looks a little bit messed up. This blue one, there's something on top of it, a flourish or something. So let's do a tree or two instead. I'm going to actually cut this off and toss it because it's got a kind of a messed up snowflake that's probably been messed up by yours truly in handling. I have a couple little, a couple more little snowflakes here. And then I may add these holly leaves. I'm going to rub these snowflakes on together. And I want to try to use those trees. I might do the holly leaves over in this area, which seems a little bit empty. I'm going to put the snowflakes there. Oh, come on. And they're very subtle, so they're not gonna, I'm gonna put them at an angle. Instead of a line. And because when they go down, they have a little bit different sheen than the paper, in person they actually show up more than they seem to when you're rubbing them on. See, they're a little bit more pronounced, but that's okay. I don't mind that they're subtle. Let's see, could I do the two dark holly leaves maybe coming out from around there or around there. Let's do it down here in the corner, and then I'll use the two lighter ones somewhere else. I like how this is shaped up. The background really sets off these with no embellishments at all. It set off the photos, and I liked that about it. So what this does to me, and you may say, God, those colors don't go together, and they don't. The green of the leaves, of course, matches the background, and the maroon repeats the maroon colors we have around there, but that's a pink and blue and green rainbow on top of a pink polka dotted circle. And to me, what this does is this kind of Christmases it up. And it doesn't match per se, but in my scrapbooking rule book, which, is non-existent, it doesn't have to match. It's not even necessarily supposed to match. It's supposed to be fun. That's the deal. So what I can do also to make this a little more cohesive with the rest of the thing is to put one of these trees that has those colors on top of this. And I don't know how well it's going to rub on, to be honest, because the circle is on foam. So I have to get it somewhere that the foam, okay, the foam is pretty solid right through there. So I'm going to put it a little closer to this guy. And see, this tree has that same flourish on it, just a lot smaller and half. and I'm calling it a flourish. It's a snowflake made of flourishes. Okay, wish me luck on this one peeling up with the image having transferred fully. And I've got to move the flare away so I can peel that up. Okay, it worked. It worked, it worked, it worked, it worked. And I'm going to go around and do a few more trees, and I'm going to kind of sprinkle them about. As part of the clusters I've already built. And they're not meant to match or coordinate, just to add a Christmassy touch. Okay, there. And I can do this one kind of right there, up a bit. And that's a very similar color to the background, and that's okay, but it does have the little maroon spots in it. That one didn't quite rub on all the way. Okay, transferring pretty well so far. So, and I'm always afraid to do this on camera, because I'm always afraid that it's just not going to do. Now, I had a single one of these kind of sitting there by itself. I don't know what happened to it. Again, I've lost something. Okay, here's a gray one, and it might work right over in here, kind of down a bit. Not any particular design here. What I'm doing is kind of putting things, spreading things about, and then I can go back in and fill in any like spaces in the design, visual spaces that need filling in the design later. Let me now do one of these. There's a green one which will not show up unless I put it in one of the lighter areas. So it could maybe go, see if I do it like that, it's right above that one. So I'm just going to put it right here. And then I'll put this stripy one up here. And then these guys, I'm going to figure a way to put them up here. I'm just going to lay them there for now, just to remind myself. And I don't think this guy is straight. and I'm spending way too much time trying to straighten him. Oh, and then of course it moves around. Wherever it lands this time, that's where it lands. And you can always trick the eye into thinking something is straight by embellishing in a different way on one side than you do on the other. Kind of give it a natural imbalance that's kind of hides your mistake. And scrapbooking is all about covering mistakes. And I guess one of the first things I was told in a class at Archivers was that there are no mistakes in scrapbooking, only opportunities for embellishment. And that has certainly proved true for me. Let's see, I'm going to turn this around and try to do something of a leaf cluster on this corner like we have on the other corner, but these are differently shaped leaves. So I'm going to do them maybe like that. I'll do this one like this. I've got the I've got the backing on it. The other one, it doesn't have backing. And so what did I do? Put the one down that does. I need to hold that in my tweezers, I think. Okay. I really like the way it's shaping up. I didn't have all the pretty bright colors that Sally did in hers, and I was afraid I wouldn't like anything but those pretty colors because, you know, that's kind of my jam. But that's not what my kit has in it. And that's kind of using these things that used to be my jam but maybe aren't so much anymore. That's kind of the whole point of Scrap Backwards. I start from something I may not be as comfortable with, and make pages that I'm gonna still love because I love these supplies at one time. And I've been to enough retreats that anything I don't like or wouldn't imagine using has pretty much gone on the freebie table. Okay, so now we're going to put this back up and we're going to go to the sticker sheet and see what we've got that can add to this. Okay, this is the main sticker sheet, and it has this ornament that I'm going to cut. I'm going to fussy cut this guy out of the center and see if it can make sense anywhere. This is, I thought about doing this. I had this idea when I was doing last week's make a non-Christmas layout out of Christmas supplies. And I still, when I imagined it, I still thought it'd be best on a Christmas layout. And I was actually going to use it as an ornament, but I liked the fact that I had the idea of cutting this out. And although it's not going as quickly as I would like, or you would like. I think it's gonna look wonky and cute, I think, when I get it done. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and it's, when I say wonky, the starbursts were not equal lengths, so it's a little bit, it looks a little bit different. And if you just kind of put it out by itself or kind of out like this, that's going to be noticeable. So I'm going to maybe hide it somewhere. How about putting it there? Or do I want to go down and do it? Now, I'm overthinking something that's as goofy as this. Let's do it like this. Kind of somewhat overlap that and just let it stick right there. And I've got the glue in the center, and I can turn these little guys up to add some dimension. Okay, so done. And I have these little candy pieces that I was thinking I could cut in half and maybe tuck in somewhere. Maybe tuck that one in there and tuck this one in here, and it kind of balances. I've got another candy piece here that I can do something similar with. Maybe that one, maybe I should have used by itself. How about if I put it right there, and this one could go like that. Okay, just kind of adding little kind of spurts of color. I've got this ornament that could just be an ornament, maybe right there. It's got a design on it that's a little, okay, here we go. This is a good place for an ornament, but it needs to be lifted up. I can't believe I didn't use the purple, but I will do a more purple themed page that would look good on. So I'm going to do that. And I think that's all from that sticker sheet. I have another ornament here that could just kind of stand in as a circle, or I could use it as an ornament, and it is from the Figgy collection, which to me is just a really good companion to Dasher. The greens are the same. The Eskimo Kisses greens are a little bit different, but still compatible as far as I'm concerned, because what isn't? Okay, there. And so that reinforces the circle theme. I still haven't used this great big star. That's the only thing left on that sticker sheet. And on here, I have this snowflake, which is gonna be perfect to go with my snowflake theme. and I've got a few that I can use. This kind of repeats that sort of bluish color. Maybe I can just overlay it right there. That's good. And then I have this really large one, which could maybe, that I still want to maintain this diagonal, so I don't want to do that. I could cut it and put part of it coming down from that photo. Let's try that. That seems to work, and I'm gonna just keep it at that angle. Maybe another cut and using it kind of right there. And this is not a lot to be throwing away. And then I have one more that maybe isn't the right color combination there. It may stand out. It's got that really dark, well, you know, it up near the dark colors in this photo, it's not bad, and it could actually kind of go right there because we've got the little snowflakes there. I think I'm going to do that. And then we're done, except for tiny embellishments like sequins, if I decide I want to do that. Let's maybe kind of do that. Anything else that I could use here? I like this. This is definitely not Christmas. Not necessarily Christmas. I think I'm good. And let me pull my sequins and see what would work. I've got my glue out here that's been standing unopened. So I'm going to take a I'm doing a it's a plastic coated paper clip, kind of pushing it down in there. I have something else that's of a better size, maybe a little bit smaller, but I'm not, let me see if I can get anything out of it. I'm going to put a few dots there, a few dots there, one dot there, something there, one dot there, one there, and let me let that get tacky while I go find some things. There's a pink in this set that actually kind of matches. This is Strawberry Shake, and there's some bright red, but there is kind of a salmon pink in there. So I'm just gonna stick with those. Kind of spread them about. There's a kind of a cream color white as well, which, to be honest, I hate, except it works perfectly for this page. It's just not one of those colors that I'd be drawn on its own, but as an accent on a page with muted tones like this. Oops, I think I've got a red one underneath there, and I'm gonna have to leave it because it's down. Let's see. There. There's every once in a while a little bit of a more neon kind of pink, and then a lighter sort of seashell pink. I'm going to just name these pinks as we go along here. I have no idea whether that's anything related to reality. I'm going to add one here because you've got these two snowflakes, and then I'm adding a third element for that visual triangle. And if it's something that kind of stands out, if it's going to be smaller, it can be a little more noticeable, if you will. I'm going to put this one kind of right over by the tree, and I'll make it that color. That's a little too much glue. And then I'm going to do it. Triangle of them there, and I'm going to add a kind of big, come on, white one, and then I'll do a smaller pink. And I'm sure I didn't have any mix in here that had any of that maroon color. I'm going to add a single one there and a trio of them here, and then I'll be done. And I feel like that will have kind of maintained. I'm going to put just a tad bit of glue under here to get that to stick down. Just get that to behave. Normally I let those curl up if they want to, but that's not what I want in that case. Okay, let's see, our last 4 sequins, I guess. There's one. We'll do a creamy one. And I'll do one of these neon ones. And then I'm going to put a red one over there. The other red one got in there by mistake, but I'll put that one in for real. Okay, so I think we're done, and I've used lots and lots of stuff from my kit. Not nearly everything. I still have quite a lot from, in this one, I think I could do one page and use up everything on here, and I may challenge myself to do that. And to that one page, I could add this gigantic star. And then where's my main page? My main page is this one, and I want to use this under the tree for a picture of our tree, and I haven't taken one yet. And I want to use the houses on the same page, and I guess this could be used. The piece and the From Santa may not get used as they are, but we'll see. So anyway, this is it. It's my theoretically last layout. I may try when we're back from the trip, I may try to do a page or two every day, because I'm going to have so many pictures to scrap. Might try to do a page or two every day using not only this kit, but trying to mix in things from my November kit, which had nothing to do with Christmas. So that might be a fun challenge just to kind of get started. And of course, we will have a January kit, which is yet to be done. And in January, I don't know if Adam has mentioned this. I should probably mention it in the group. We're going to, each Monday, we're going to scrap lift a member. And we have our 4 members picked out for January, but we'll be looking, through and picking members for February. And we may throw in some surprise scrap lifts of members throughout the month and give prizes for, random drawings for people who scrap lift the same member. So we're kind of still working on silly ideas. So let me bring this up a little bit closer so you can see it. And it'll be posted on Instagram, Scrappy Kathy Y, and on the Scrap Backwards Facebook group. And you know what? Putting these leaves right here made this look like an ornament, didn't it? Go figure. And this looks like an upside down ornament. So I really like this. And like I said, I'll add some journaling, but probably to the back, or I may write it around in a border, because Sally's has this stitched border a little bit in from the edge, about 1/4 of an inch. So I can actually write my journaling there and kind of talk about how we didn't have a big meal with a mess to clean up at the house, because we're kind of packing for the trip. So thank you for watching, and I hope you had wonderful holidays. Hope you have an absolutely fantastic new year, and I'll see you in the scrap room. Bye.